Welcome in. It's time for another edition of the Morning Espresso on the SDH Network, brought to you by Oglethorpe University, Atlanta's premier undergraduate learning experience and soccer powerhouse. I'm Jason Longshore. Yeah, my voice is a little raspy. It was a crazy night last night at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Atlanta United with a crazy comeback win. 5th minute of second half stoppage time. Jamal TRA scores to win it. Bartosz Szlich leveled it in the 83rd minute. That was 6 minutes after a red card to Cesar Araujo. Atlanta United ended Orlando City's club record tying 12-match unbeaten streak in league play. 3-2 win for Atlanta United. Oscar Pereja was also sent off for Orlando. Just craziness. We talked a lot about it on After the Whistle. Make sure you check that out on our YouTube channel. You can also watch that on our Instagram as well at Soccer Down Here. That's going to be a regular feature going forward. It was a bad start. Came back and leveled it with Alexei Moranchuk, who was brilliant on the night. I mean, I could flip a coin between man of the match between Moranchuk and Bartosz Szlich. I thought both were incredible in very different ways. Moranchuk with 3 goal contributions. He was involved in every one of them. 1 goal, 2 assists. First time that's happened for an Atlanta United player since early 2024. After Orlando scored early, I talked about it on the broadcast. I was really surprised at how much they dropped off. That allowed Atlanta to play. Now, Atlanta took full advantage, and they kept then pinning Orlando in, especially after getting through that very difficult first 15 minutes of the second half, where, for whatever reason this season, Atlanta United has had letdowns in that portion. They didn't hear. Orlando kind of came back into the game a little bit at that stage. The second goal for Orlando is a mistake from Derek Williams. It's a bouncing ball. He's got to do better in the clearance there. You can't give that up. I don't think it's anything more than just the individual mistake on what happened. And, it's not something you want to have to deal with, but you did. And you come back and you pick him up, and he was very good after that as well. You know, when a team gives you something in a game, you have to take full advantage of it. And I think Atlanta United did that in the second 45. Ronnie Dyla said afterwards, in the second half, we were so dominant that they couldn't cope with it in the end. This is a team, talking about Atlanta United, that I am proud of, and more of what we want to look like: pinning people in, reacting, getting crosses into the box, set up situations, and standing strong. Then we were able to be organized and aggressive and showed strength in getting back into the match. I think Ronnie was very happy with everything afterwards. The players we had a chance to talk to, you can go check out the full-time report. Mike Conti and I caught up with Brad Kazan, who became the first player in club history to start 250 games in all competitions. We had a chance to talk to Alexei Moranchuk, and we had a chance to talk to Saba Lobjanidze. Go check those interviews out on the full-time report at Off the Woodwork on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Other updates from MLS last night: the LA Galaxy, their winless streak to start the season is now 16 games. They lost 1-0 to the San Jose Earthquakes. Oseni Buda's goal in the 74th minute gave the Quakes the win. The Galaxy are approaching the league record for consecutive matches without a win. That is 19. That was set by the Metro Stars, the predecessors to the New York Red Bulls, in 1999. Let's go down to Fort Lauderdale. Javier Mascherano said, "The storm stopped and the sun came out." Very poetic from Big Mosh after Miami won 4-2 against Montreal. 2 goals from Lionel Messi, 2 goals from Luis Suarez. A very strong win after 4 straight without a win. Jesus Ferreira, he scored for Seattle for the first time. It's the 1-0 match winner over San Diego. San Diego won 3-0 last time these teams played down in Southern California. Big win for Seattle, who's in a great run of form right now. 6-1-2 in their last 9, if I'm not mistaken. Cincinnati fans, yeah, we've been talking a lot about them lately. They booed their former captain, Luciano Acosta, after the opening, or starting from the opening whistle, after the opening whistle all the way through the match, when Dallas visited last night. Lucho wasn't very happy about it. He had to say this: "The fans need to be more grateful with me. They boo me, but I don't deserve that. I feel bad because I won the Supporters Shield here, the first MVP for the club, the first trophy for the club. I think I deserve more than that." I would tend to agree. If you don't want to give him a big welcome back, that's completely fine and it's understandable. But this idea, and I know this one's different than Liverpool and Trent Alexander Arnold, but this idea that players are not allowed to leave, and if they do, that they're terrible people, that's got to stop. Luciano Acosta had pretty much run his course, and it sounds like there were other issues within the club that he was not happy with. He left and has not said anything bad outside of, I think, the personal discussion that I believe revolved around Chris Albright. And that's one of the reasons he wanted to leave. But he didn't trash the fans or the club on the way out. If he did, maybe I missed it. I think this reaction is way over the top from Cincinnati fans to boo him all night long. You don't want to give him the warm reaction when his name's announced in the starting lineup. Fine. You don't want to cheer for him in those situations. That's fine. You're not going to cheer for him in the game, but the constant boos is a little ridiculous. Lucho not happy. Cincinnati not happy. They had a 2-0 lead. They conceded twice. They went back ahead 3-2, and then they conceded in stoppage time to draw 3-3. Vancouver, they're unbeaten in 10, scoreless draw with Minnesota, but they head into Sunday's CONCACAF Champions Cup final against Cruz Azul in Mexico City in very, very good form. Can they continue to build on this? Can they win the CONCACAF title? Can they book their spot in the next Club World Cup down the line? We're going to find out if these Whitecaps can get it done one more time. That draw, though, that means the Philadelphia Union are now in the Supporters' Shield lead. They won 2-1 in Toronto. We're down 1-0. Kai Wagner set up the tying goal, and then he scored the winner. Philadelphia 8-0-2 in their last 10 games in all competitions. Let's move over to the U.S. men's national team. Chris Brady of the Chicago Fire was added to the roster for training camp that starts Sunday in Chicago. Brady earned his first call up to the senior national team. He's replacing Patrick Schulte. He's out with an oblique injury. He's going to be out 2 to 6 weeks. Your other goalkeepers in camp, current number one, Matt Turner, Matt Freese, who does not have a cap either, Zach Steffen, who has also been battling an oblique injury and has missed Colorado's last 3 games in MLS. Anthony Robinson wasn't part of the summer roster. One reason why, he underwent minor surgery on his right knee. He's going to begin rehab to get ready for Fulham's next season. Had been battling injury, hadn't been training consistently, and that's why he was not called in, and he goes ahead to have the surgery now to be ready for Fulham's season in the Premier League starting in August. Johnny Cardoso of the USMNT, his season ended on a disappointing note. Real Betis had the lead in the UEFA Conference League final and couldn't hold on to it. Chelsea ended up coming all the way back to win 4-1. Cardoso, the first American to start in a UEFA Cup final. He's one to watch in the transfer market too. Tottenham has a summer option on him to buy him for just over 28 million US dollars. Atletico Madrid, and we've talked about this on the Espresso before, they are interested, but Tottenham has basically the first right here. We'll see where this could go, but Johnny Cardoso could be on the market. U.S. youth national teams, the 6 U.S. men's youth national teams will all be playing in this late May, early June period. The 2 youngest teams went to South America. 3 teams are off to Europe. The U20s plans have not been released yet. The draw for the U20 World Cup in Chile will be held today. In the roster announcement for the U19s, it was revealed, and nobody knew this was coming, that former Atlanta United coach Rob Valentino is the new head coach for that age group. Hopefully, we will get a chance to catch up with our old friend Rob Valentino here very soon to talk about his new journey with the U.S. youth national teams. Stadium updates. Detroit City, they have plans to open a new stadium by spring of 2027. This came out at a neighborhood meeting last night with some more details. Construction is going to last approximately a year, going to start early in 2026. 15,000 seats, that'd be double what they're in right now. It's an old abandoned hospital site that is reportedly flooded with 1.5 to 2 million gallons of water in the basement. The Detroit City Council this month approved a brownfield plan for up to $5.9 million that would gradually reimburse Detroit City for the demolition costs in this project. That's going to go over a period of 21 years. Right now, that's the only public subsidy requested on this stadium project. The final plans that are still to be revealed will also feature some commercial space on the 17.5-acre site. Women's Euros this summer, Fox Sports is going to offer coverage of this. The majority of the matches will be on Big Fox. 16-team tournament, 19 games on Fox, 11 on FS1, 1 on FS2. Quarterfinals, semifinals, final, all on Fox between July 2nd to July 27th. You'll also have the Women's Euro today with pregame, postgame analysis, highlights, other coverage of the tournament. Let's hop on the managerial carousel. David Ancelotti, the son of Carlo, who has been his assistant at Real Madrid, he held fresh talks with Rangers in London about their vacancy. Rangers is a little busy right now because they are in the midst of a takeover as well. The current chief executive, Patrick Stewart, he's leading the search. The prospective new owners, a consortium involving Andrew Kavanagh and the San Francisco 49ers, their new sporting director in waiting, Kevin Thelwell, also in the conversation. So this is a little complicated. And they're trying to get this done sooner rather than later because Ancelotti could bring some former Real Madrid players with him to Glasgow, maybe even Luka Modric, who has not said no to the possibility. But the longer it drags on, guys are going to sign contracts elsewhere. The carousel is spinning wildly out of control in Italy right now. Napoli, it looks like Antonio Conte is going to stay, according to Matteo Moretto. It was all said that he was going to leave, even to the point it sounded like Aurelio De Laurentiis had already basically thanked him and said goodbye. They've had talks. There's allegedly a new improved contract on the table. De Laurentiis wants to keep him there. He wants to spend a little more money to keep the squad together and improve it. Kevin De Bruyne wants to play for Antonio Conte, according to reports, and now it sounds like that's all going to happen. So Max Allegri has just been waiting in the wings at Napoli. Now he's reportedly given the green light to join Milan, be his second stint at the San Siro with Milan. He had been linked with this move to Napoli. He was kind of the guy just waiting to see what happens with Conte. Now that might spin, so he might not wait anymore to find out. He might go to Milan. Milan was looking at Vincenzo Italiano at Bologna. He signed a new contract to stay at Bologna. Allegri back in play. Looks like he's going to Milan. But you also have the situation with Gianpiero Gasperini, who is looking to leave Atalanta after 9 years in charge. He could go to Roma, and Stefano Pioli, the former Milan manager, could go to Atalanta. Yeah, just the top 10 teams in Italy, you could have a whole bunch of changes. Just wait it out. It's going to be chaotic. Club World Cup updates. Manchester City chairman Khaldoun Al-Mubarak has said that the transfer business for the club this summer will be very swift. They want to be ready with the new squad for the Club World Cup. One player whose name has emerged is Ryan Cherky, who is the Lyon playmaker, an incredibly talented player, sometimes streaky, sometimes up and down, but incredible talent. He could be available for 20 to 25 million pounds. That's worth a risk to take here. And Manchester City, according to the Telegraph, are in the race to sign him. Bayern Munich, they have strengthened their back line ahead of Club World Cup. Jonathan Tah, the center back from the German national team and from Bayer Leverkusen, he has signed with Bayern Munich. He was linked with Real Madrid at one point. And I want to finish with this. We're waiting on some updates out of it. Al Hilal Sudan, Al Hilal Omdurman. They did not play in Sudan in this past season. They actually played in Mauritania, then their top tier, the Super D1. The reason why I'm talking about Al Hilal Sudan is they made the quarterfinals of the African Champions League this past season. Amidst everything that they are dealing with, a war in Sudan, playing in a different country, they got to the quarterfinals. This is a big team in Africa, but it's all extremely complicated at the moment. They went on a 13-game unbeaten run to end up claiming the title. They won that last week. But we don't know what's going to happen with them going forward because the Sudanese Super League is going to do a final round, a championship round that would have Al Hilal come back into the Sudanese League. Al Amerikek would also come back into this. They played in Mauritania as well. That's supposed to start any day now, but it looks like those matches have been postponed as of now. The legendary Congolese coach Florent Ibenge, he is expected to leave the club after winning this title. That has not been updated as of yet because I think it's kind of unclear as to where this team is going to play right now. And the reason why that comes into the mix as well is how are they going to qualify for next season's African Champions League? The CAF has not been exactly clear if they can qualify by winning another country's league like Mauritania. This is all going to get very strange to sort out. Foreign players for Al Hilal, Omdurman might not stay with the club because of not wanting to go back to Sudan to play in their Super League there. It's very very complicated, but this is one of the top teams in the continent at the moment, and there's a lot of unknowns about what happens next with them. We'll try to keep you updated as best as we can find out. It appears that they were scheduled 4 matches in the Sudanese Super League that have now been postponed. There's still a couple games that are listed as scheduled, but nothing has been played yet, and I have not been able to find any updates. One of the crazier stories in winning another country's league for very good reasons. I'm glad FIFA and the CAF were able to work that out so Al Hilal could play. But now what is the next step? We'll keep you updated on that story. We'll keep you updated on a whole bunch of other stories because it is hectic times right now in the world of soccer. Coming up next on the SDH Network, John Nelson will take you through SDH AM. That'll start at 9:05. You can watch here on X. You can watch here on YouTube. You can also watch on Twitch. And then more content to come as we get ready for Atlanta United going out on the road to Red Bull Arena to play the New York Red Bulls on Saturday. Y'all have a good